Hello, I'm Marcielle, and today I'd like to share with you some little samples of some of the previous students' work with animations, just to give you some ideas of how different students have approached the assignment and different techniques they've used. I'm also going to tell you that there are some students who've put in a lot of time into their animations and have got some interesting results, and others who've used some lateral ways, things like cookie cutters to cut out some, for example, some characters from Play-Doh. Other people have used drawings and created their own sound, and some people have used relatively simple ideas that are very effective. And in the end, we want you to take away some great skills so that you can quickly do some work with your students and inspire them to create more animations. So let's take a look. All right, up here I've got some my thing. You'll see here, the first one I'm going to show you is a clip where the student has used photos and they've animated each photo slide by slide to create the effect of talking and the little animals talking. It's quite cute. Let's have a look. See this clip here. Let's say, okay, let's have a look.
Animal, a mammal. Let's listen to some mammals to find out some of their features.
Mammals are warm-blooded.
Mammals are covered in hair or fur for at least some part of their life.
Oh, I'm not a mammal. I'm a reptile.
Isn't that cute? You know that last bit, oh, I'm not a mammal, I'm a reptile. Now that's interesting because you see that's an element of interest and you can put that in for if it's appropriate for your animation. But what I like about it, let's have a close look at this reptile. If you have a look here on my screen, you'll notice that if I slide each film just one at a time, you'll see that really it looks like he's talking, but every little subtle movement has been made. They've used the move feature in Photoshop. They've just probably taken like a little section and moved it around. So there's different ways. Let's have a look at another clip. Now this one I like because they've used people, and people can be very effective. But if you've got too much movement, it can be a little bit of a distraction, but it also can create a very modern feel, and that's pretty groovy too. Let's have a look at this clip here. And it's in two parts. The first part, they're showing keeping your hands warm, keeping your hands clean. I'm trying to keep my hands warm, it's always cold. And the other section they've put towards the end where they've used little germs on a stick to give that effect of movement. So it's quite cute. Let's have a look. Ready? All right, play. Okay, well that went really fast, but if you look really slowly, I'll show you frame by frame. You can see that they've used some little germs on a stick to create like an animation effect. It's more of a video effect, but they did take each photo by photo and put it together. But again, perhaps, it's up to you. You need to know that the person that is watching your animation, they need to not be too distracted by movement. So the next animation I'm going to show you is quite interesting because these students have put in a lot of work, but and have provided something effective. But I'll show you the two clips, and they're both using fruit and vegetables, which are popular, and some people put eyes on the vegetables to give it like that little cute feel. But I want you to bear in mind the importance of keeping the camera still and also keeping the background still. And if you keep both still, you can have a more flawless effect. The first clip, they've put a lot of work in it, and my only feedback to them would have been keep the background still, keep the camera still. Let's have a look. Ready? Have a look at this one. Ready? Right. Now they've used some really interesting music and it sinks in very well, as you can see, but have a look just how much movement there is. See, from there to there, the tablecloth, it's zoomed in, and here we see that it's still, but now they've got a little bit of movement in the camera, and that that shaking effect, if you're deliberately doing that effect for something modern, that's great, but you can tell here in this video that they've just not kept the camera still enough. And if they had, in some places you can see the seamless transition. Now here, in this one frame here, I can see a plate, and although that's not a bad thing, I mean, it is food after all, but I don't think the plate was meant to be in the scene for some reason. Let's look at the next one. The next one, they've chosen a black background and they've kept everything as still as possible. And how you can tell a great animation is that when you speed things up, it looks even more flawless. And this clip has actually been sped up a little bit. Let's have a look at it. See how smooth the vegetables and the apples are flowing? That's a good animation. That's a great animation, actually. So that gives you a bit of an idea of different things you could do with fruit. Now, what you can also do, and this one I like because you can use colour. And the student here has taken every image and subtly changed the colour of the qualities and properties of the actual image. You can see here they've changed the colour but kept the photo and only changed the properties of the photo to pink, red, and it's a great effect. This same student is the one I was telling you earlier, used the cookie cutter to create characters. So that's quite clever. They've used a gingerbread man cutter and created the little characters. So let's have a look at this clip. It's only short.
Cohen and Bennett are best friends. Their favourite game is soccer. Marley really likes soccer. Can I play too, she asked. No, girls don't play soccer, exclaimed Cohen.
Okay, you see, you get the idea. Now the other thing that is interesting for you to know about animations is the angle. Many students use different angles, and sometimes in a scene like this one, it's fantastic that they've used an angle where we look like we're looking directly at them like you do in the movies. Some people use an aerial view, and some people get their camera low. They actually line it up near a table and they are able to shoot that scene. Now, this particular scene here makes you feel like you're part of the scene and you're in eye contact with the characters of this particular scene, and that's something you might want to consider. Towards the end of the scene, the student has also used colour at the very end, and that's a photo. So it's all been a string of photos shot one after another. It's called a stop motion animation, but there's one photo they changed the properties and they made it sad and blue, which is very interesting. So you can be very creative. All right, this one here, the main thing I want to show you with this one is that they've used a theme, and most programs come with some sort of a theme that you can add. There's wedding themes, birthday themes, and this one here is a news theme, and they've tried to animate their dog talking. That's a lot of trouble, but let's have a quick look, okay? I like this one.
Good day, I'm Jackson Moore, and today I'm reporting on the life cycle of the flea. Here we have an adult flea. A female flea lays up to 50 eggs at a time on the host dog or cat. The eggs hatch.
Okay, so you get an idea. That's the news theme of the flea. All right, now finally, this particular animation was amazing because this student has taken very simple ideas and has animated things like a Ziploc bag, which they hand drew, and they've taken things like seeds and look, and they've made them dance along the page to create a really nice effect. This student was teaching you how to make a terrarium, and I like the different thinking that this student has showed in this example. And let's have a look at this one, okay? Here's a Ziploc. Okay. Wow. So we'll go back a few bits. So seeds, they've used seeds, they've animated the seeds. And then down here, they animated the trigger. And how they've done this is they've taken a drawing that they've done themselves and they've put in that tiny little bit of graphics in there, and they can reuse that image over and over again. That's very clever. I'm sliding my mouse back and forth, and that's pretty cool. So there's a simple concept there. And then down here, I noticed the seeds. They didn't have time to wait for the seeds to grow, so they animated those using drawings. That's a lot of effort. It's great. It's a good effect. So they've taken a photo and they've imposed a drawing over it. That's pretty clever stuff. So I hope this has helped you to see some diversity in the different types of approaches that you can use. And if you have any problems or get stuck, don't forget we've got an amazing team of people to help you. So give us a call or send us an email, and I wish you well with your animation and enjoy every opportunity you have, because that's what it's all about, having fun. Cheers.